Hi, this is Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and this is Psychic Insights. Oh my gosh, why did Laura Owens and David Gingras scrub their online presence? I mean, Laura, she's vanished. She erased herself. She ghosted Medium. And David Gingras, her former attorney, X is gone. No more tweets or whatever. And his YouTube videos, well, I'm going to miss the cat, honestly. But they wiped the slate clean. So what are they trying to hide? Where did this actually come from? And I am going to share my insights intuitively and using my trusty Lenormand cards. We love these. We're going to take a look. Now, most of you know that I've been following this case, and what I find really super interesting is that when I tune into the energy and I use my cards, it's how accurate it seems to be. So even me, who is a psychic, is like, wow, this is pretty cool. All right, so I hope you enjoy this episode because we're going to decode what's actually happening here. So let's get into it. So Laura Owens, highlight felony charges. She's got the perjury, the forgery, the evidence tampering, fraudulent schemes, and her former attorney was very vocal in trying to create a story around Laura and how this poor woman, whatever, her life's ruined, cue the tiny violins. But both of them are silent now, and this is why we are asking, was this silence strategic, spiritual, or self-protective panic? So I pulled 5 cards, and the cards are fish, birds, crossroads, coffin, and bear. So let's break them down a little bit here. Now, fish is all about money, flow, gain. It's tied to branding, influence, or something to lose financially. And the birds, public chatter, rumors, anxiety. When people talk too much, the truth starts to come out. Well, we've seen this because we know that David Gingras basically created this problem for her, not helped her at all. Anywho, she created her own problem, let's put it that way. But he absolutely opened the door and let the dogs out, I guess. So the Crossroads is about the pivot, and they had to make a quick decision. And the coffin means shut it down fast, possibly to avoid evidence being dissected. And the bear, somehow power behind the scenes. And I kind of think it's her new legal team. Well, we probably all know this. Whenever I say this stuff and I'm like, well, yeah, of course, that's what it is. All right, so I think that that's what happened. The legal team advised or demanded it, to bury or remove from sight this contradictory evidence. And it's also about controlling the narrative and resetting timelines. So, brilliant move, I think, for the legal team. And in felony cases, public posts equal potential evidence. So, any of you legal people, can you confirm this? Gingras, his deletion will equal legal containment because I think I hear chopping block. Yeah. Anyway, this wasn't a rebrand, it was a wipeout, and the energy just does not lie. And there's fear, there's panic, there's protection, especially around David. So I asked the question, is David legally exposed? And what happens when a lawyer helps shape the public narratives? If it's later shown that those narratives were false, well, from the birds and the fish, communication for gain, coffin plus bear equals something big, had to be shut down, possibly to protect David. And the Crossroads, he may now be distancing himself from Laura for self-preservation. And my guys are clear. He did not expect it to explode like this. That's what happens when you have a big ego, right? And now he's in retreat mode and maybe even under investigation. we can only hope that he's under investigation. So let's take a look at the karmic archetype, because this is fascinating to me. Laura is the victim magician shadow child, and David is the mentor loyalist, possibly turning into the martyr. Their soul contracts might have intersected for this exact unraveling. And when the karmic loop is, when truth is suppressed, it usually just explodes. They weren't just working together. They were playing roles in a much bigger spiritual story for themselves. And now the curtain has been pulled back. So what energy do you feel behind this social media deletion? What do you think? Do you think that David could be implicated? And have you ever seen a cover-up unravel in real time? So I want you to tune in yourself. Even though you may have been following this case for a long time, I want you to tune in and share with me what comes to you about this. And I invite you to bookmark this episode, because more truths are going to surface. And this is just the beginning. In the next episode, I am going to be talking more about the sacred contracts and looking into the energy, and keep a close tabs on what this new legal team is doing. I'm fascinated by it. So if you're here for the intuitive truth, subscribe, share, and stay tuned, because this is where the energy speaks. And if you'd like to book a private reading, please go to yourpsychicgirlfriend.com, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for supporting my work.